Hey guys, so I just wanted to share a few minutes of why we decided to go with open book management to run our agency, our marketing agency, ApricotLaw. And we made the decision just before the end of 2021. I made the decision. And at the time, I was in the process of buying out my partner. And that sale happened in February of 2022. So by the time we bought him out, now all of a sudden, we have loans to pay, SBA loans, and a few other loans to pay. And that was the first time ever that we had debt. So there was a little bit of added pressure to make sure that we were profitable every month, at least enough to cover the interest and principal payments on these loans, which were significant for us. We didn't have any debt before that. We grew the company, bootstrapped basically the company for the last 8 years since we started the company together in late 2013. So now we have all this debt, and I figure it's sink or swim. We're going to either grow or we're going to die with these debt payments. So we had to go up. We had to go upwards. And at the time, that's why I chose to go with the open book management or a great game of business operating system for running a company. And there's other reasons. If we go back to when I was growing up, my dad had a bar restaurant, and I always used to remember my dad kind of stressed out, thinking that he had to do everything on his own. I always remember him saying, if you don't stay on top of these people, meaning that his employees, then they wouldn't do the right thing, or they wouldn't get the job done, or get it done the way that he wanted. And I always grew up thinking just what a tremendous amount of stress and weight on one person's shoulders to be thinking that, he had to do it, or if he didn't do it, then it wouldn't get done. And that employees were just a necessary evil to running a company, even though he didn't really value their input or value their work, really. Because in the end, I guess this comes from a place of fear. But a lot of people, including myself up until recently, we run companies in the same way, where we think it all falls on our shoulders. We stay up at night thinking about how we're going to make payroll and et cetera, et cetera. The entrepreneurs kind of worry at times. Well, when I found the great game of business, I actually found it through scaling up. We were using the scaling up framework to run our company, but scaling up never really took hold with our people all the way down to the frontline team members. It was great for the top 1 or 2 levels of management, but it was almost, we would put these plans in place for the quarter or for the year, and they wouldn't get very far. There was no buy-in. There was no engagement with the employees. So it was always an uphill battle to plan using that system. And at one point I tried, using Gino Wickman's business operating system. And that had the same kind of drawbacks. So when I saw the great game of business, it happened to be through a scaling up masterclass, just so happens. I took the masterclass and I learned about scaling up. I read the book, The Great Game of Business, and also Get in the Game. And I knew that it was the missing link and why it filled the gaps as to why those other systems weren't successful for us. And this at least seemed like a way to get everyone involved and engaged in the process of growing the company. The other part of it is, on the other side of the coin, is that what do employees want and care about and worry about? Most of them will tell you, and we've surveyed our people over time, and they want more pay, better benefits, job security, and they want to know that their work is meaningful, that it's contributing to some greater cause. Well, in most companies, they're in the dark, and we were guilty of this too. Our people were in the dark, so obviously those fears are multiplied because they don't know what's going on. They don't know really how well the company is doing, other than if we tell them, yeah, we're doing well, or we're growing or not growing. They see clients coming in, they see clients leaving, and that's how they judge if the business is doing well. But obviously, and I know that there's much more to that. There's much more behind that if you look at the income statement and the balance sheet, et cetera. So I have this part here that, of the workbook, the Great Game Implementation Workbook, that I'd like to just share with you to further the point of why Great Game of Business. for us. Great game leaders share these core beliefs. If I don't inform my people, someone else will. So they already think that you're making more money than you are. Given the opportunity, people want to learn the business. Provided the education, people can learn the business. Given the trust, people will make the right decisions for the business. And I've seen that, and I'll talk about the results since we rolled this out in February, March. Given the respect, people will contribute to the success of the business. And people should share in the rewards they help create. And then there's a quote down below from a business owner who is using the great game of business to run his company as an open book company. And I think it's perfect, and it tells you exactly, he says it perfectly. In addition to the company-related benefits, there is a personal benefit that trumps all the others. Hiding data and holding information close to the vest takes no minor amount of energy. I love the liberation I feel running the company in an open and transparent manner. There is a sense of pride. I sleep well at night, and that adds to my quality of life, which is no small thing. So I really couldn't have said it better myself. It's exactly how I would describe it, is that instead of running the company like my dad used to run his business, where everything fell on him, on one person, now we get to share that responsibility, that burden with the entire team, which is liberating, as this person, Jeff, said about the great game. So now the results. Well, before we get into the results, let me just tie that all together. By having the employees or the team members know what's going on with the business, how money is made inside of the business, knowing and teaching them financial literacy, they are able to take their destiny into their own hands. So all those things that they care about, more pay, better benefits, job security, that's on them now. They know how the business makes money. If they want more pay or all these things, then they also know how they can make that happen, how they personally can impact the business and subsequently their lives and these things that they want. So everybody gets what they want, and there's benefits to go all the way around. Now, with regards to the results have been nothing short of miraculous. And I've decided to become a great game of business coach so that I could further the great game implementation within ApricotLaw and within our own agency. But then also to help others. I have a passion for it. But mostly, primarily, to be able to help and coach our own company, our own marketing agency. And I'll be documenting along the way how that's going. But now for the results. The first half through June of 2022, and by that time we had maybe about 2 months, maybe 3, where we were forward forecasting, where the P&L had line item owners, where people were responsible for forecasting what the rest of each month would look like, and we really dug in. It took about 3 months. So by the end of June, we had a grand total of $30,000 in net profit on over $1 million in revenue. Garbage. And so we collectively dug into the P&L, and in July, we made over 20% profit on our revenue. It was nearly $40,000. I think it was $38,000. And now to date, through the end of November in 2022, our profit before tax is $218,000. So we went from $30,000 in the first 6 months to 5 months later to a total year to date of $218,000 in net income in profit before tax. And I give that credit, I attribute that 100% to the great game of business and to open book management, empowering our team. Everybody's excited. People know exactly how we make money. And our team has floored me with their sense of ownership, and have they really stepped up to the plate and took on this challenge. And they didn't run away. They dug in and they took ownership and turned the ship around to where we're earning about 22 to 25% net profit percent of revenue. each month. So those have been the results. I think they speak for themselves. I'm going to go ahead and continue to document our process and do one of these vlogs every so often, hopefully a couple times a week, to just share my progress with you guys. Now, if you have any questions, please reach out. This has been Nick Kringas. Thank you for watching.